Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Future Summit 2020. My name is Tetushani, and I've been given the arduous task of making sure that you're all awake, that your blood is flowing, and that you're feeling good. So what we're going to do for that is, I have to give you a part, and you guys are going to help me sing along. It's not that hard. I just hope your voices are warmed up. Are you guys ready? This could go either way, but I'm optimistic. Sing oh, sing oh, sing ah, sing oh, sing oh, sing oh, sing ah. La 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 la. I made mountains out of molehills, and they can be quite the scene. Think about how far I've come and my life looking greater than it's ever been. If I could eat my pie in the sky, it would be just my thing, yeah. Sipping on my champagne and my life looking greater than it's ever been. See my life looking greater than it's ever been. How did you rise so fast, so high, and now melt your wings in the sun? They say you must be Africa's son. How did you rise so fast, so high, and now melt your wings in the sun? Hey, say you must be an African. They say you must be Africa's son. No, 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 no. They say you must be an African. Must be Africa's son. I don't know about my haters, but they should know about me. Keep me humble, cause my life looking greater than it's ever been. I overflow with flavor. My pockets are full of green. Even on my worst days, say my life looking greater than it's ever been. How did you rise so fast, so high, and now melt your wings in the sun? They say you must be Africa's son. How did you rise so fast, so high, and now melt your wings in the sun? They say you must be an African. Must be Africa's son. No, 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 no. I say I must be an African. Africa's son. If you jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me back. Jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me back. If you jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me back. If you jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me back. If you jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me back. If you jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me back. If you jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me. Jealous, don't hold me back. If you jealous, don't hold me back. Please don't jealous me. Please don't jealous me. Woo. Here we go. Please don't jealous me. La la la. Here we go. I real tapa, no careless, la pa, no girl can sippin' on you show. Leko pasa, let them machata, no girl can hotter than you. You gotta walk them one by one, drop them two by two. Drop them 3 by 3. From your nose, say you hotter than she. Oh, real tapa and no careless lapa, no girl can step in my shoe. Let go pasa, let them machata, no girl can hotter than you. You got to whop them 1 by 1. Drop them 2 by 2. Drop them 3 by 3. From your nose, say you hotter than she. How did you rise so high? Now melt your wings in the sun. Must be Africa's sun. How did you rise so fast, so high? And now melt your wings in the sun. They say I must be Africa's sun. How did you rise so high? And I melt your wings in the sun. They say I must be Africa's son. How did you rise so fast, so high? And I melt your wings in the sun. Say I must be an African. Must be Africa's son. Say I must be an African. Must be Africa's son. No. Say I must be an African. Say I must be an African. Hello, humble. Woo. Please don't jealous me. Listen, one thing you must not do is just, please don't jealous me. And if there's someone who's jealousing you, you also tell them, you know. You just be like, please don't jealous me. Woo. Please don't jealous me. Hey, humble. Here we go. Please don't jealous me. There's a gentleman here who's been really making my music sound so good. His name is Tugi Malamba. And he's the gentleman right next to me looking all swagged out. He makes it a mission to look better than me every single time we play, and I appreciate him for it, bro. I'll get you one day, man. If you love her, then you better tell her. If you love her, then you better tell her. Oh, come on. If you love her, then you better tell her. If you love her, then you better tell her. Oh. Of course, shout out to my sound engineer, Mr. Mike Bogwa, for making that sound very good today. I appreciate you, man. If you love her, then you better tell her. Her heart is open, give her chicken soup for the soul. If you love her, then you better tell her. Her heart is open, give her chicken soup for the soul. But it will keep her body warm when she's feeling cold. If you love her, then you better tell her. Her heart is open, give her chicken soup for the soul. If you love her, then you better tell her. Her heart is open, give her chicken soup for the soul. That it will keep her what it wants when she's feeling cold. Ooh, bendo, 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 bendo. We'll keep her body warm when she's feeling cold. Ooh, bendo, bendo. We'll keep her body warm when she's feeling cold. So, if you love her, then you better tell her. Her heart is open, give her chicken soup for the soul. But if you love her, then you better tell her. Her heart is open, give her chicken soup for the soul. That it will keep her body warm when she's feeling cold. Yes, there will be trouble along the way. Don't you know that there will be trouble along the way? Hey, come on. Look before you leap and you'll be okay. Don't you know? Look before you leap and you'll be okay. Bendo, bendo. Bendo, we'll keep her body warm when she's feeling cold. Ooh, bendo, bendo, we'll keep her body warm when she's feeling cold. So, if you love her, then you better tell her. Her heart is open, give her chicken soup for the soul. If you love her, then you better tell her. Her heart is open, give her chicken soup for the soul. Lord, it will keep her body warm when she's feeling cold. Bendo, bendo, we'll keep her body warm when she's feeling cold. Bendo, bendo, we'll keep her body warm when she's feeling cold. So, if you love her, then you better tell her. Her heart is open, give her chicken soup for the soul. But if you love her, then you better kill her. Her heart is open, give her chicken soup for the soul. That it will keep her body warm when she's feeling cold. Yeah, I'm ready to rise again. Look at my life, look at my heart. I have seen them fall apart, and I'm ready to rise again. Look at my hopes and look at my dreams. I'm building bridges from these seams. Yeah, I'm ready to rise again. Bendo, 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 bendo. Thank you.
Welcome to the 2020 Future Summit powered by Siegel Family Foundation and Robert Bosch Stiftung. The day has finally arrived. We hosted our first Future Summit in 2019 in Malawi, centered on the theme of active partnerships. It was an event that brought together our community of partners, donors, government, the private sector, and other experts in the sector. This year, COVID-19 has affected the entire global community, business, and our ability to drive change. With this year's summit, we want to move away from this paralysis and pay attention to the trends, the future, and people in the context of the world we want to create.
The Future Summit 2020 is a space where we invite our global diverse community of leaders of social change. These leaders will deconstruct and address trends in Africa from all angles. This year, we are privileged to have leaders from East, West, and Southern Africa. Next year, we hope to include the whole continent. This is all in our hope to become the largest network of interconnected social entrepreneurs across Africa. On the main stage, we are privileged to have our keynote address from Nobel laureate Professor Mohammad Yunus, who's often described as the father of microfinance.
Joining him on the main stage and our breakout sessions will be a diverse set of speakers from across the globe that will create moments that inspire, thought-provoke, and celebrate the wealth of knowledge and impact within our network, and center our attention on the future we want.
We know that you cannot go on actual trips due to the pandemic, but we will take you on a virtual trip to 6 countries to experience the impactful work done by our visionaries. We can't forget to have a bit of fun, so watch out for performances by Tetu Shani, Eid Aziz, and Nyago, who are helping us imagine the future of music. Our team across the US and East Africa have been counting down the days to this event, and we welcome you to the Future Summit. Now, we leave in the capable hands of our host, June Sapong.
The future is young people realizing their potential. They see how much they're capable of.
For me, I really think the future is female.
The future is local.
The future is collective.
The future is yours. All you need to do is to create the change you want to see in this world.
And I believe that the future is women in business.
The future is bright.
Our future is ours to shape.
Our land, our planet, and our people.
The future is girls. The future is education. The future is unity.
The future is what we are doing today.
The future is beautiful because my dreams are beautiful.
It's inclusive, it's equitable, and absolutely nobody gets left behind.
We need creative solutions to address global issues.
The future of ethical fashion is in Africa.
African entrepreneurs coming up with solutions to the problems in their own communities.
The future is bright if we work harder and we never give up and dream big in life.
Where do you think the future is?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Future Summit. I'm June Sarpong, and I'm excited to be your host for all of today's virtual event. I'm coming to you from my home in London, and what I'd like to know is, where are you all joining in from? Please send your messages through to our chat box. Tell us where you're logging in so we can see how many of you are joining us from around the world. We are expecting hundreds of participants to be with us today, and I know many are in Africa, the US, Europe, and beyond. So let us know where you're tuning in from. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are. I'm proud to say that the COVID virus can't stop incredible forces of change like you all. We have a phenomenal lineup of speakers today, covering topics from the future of philanthropy, education, health, the arts, and much, much more. We also have some special musical performances, which I know will be guaranteed to entertain. And we're hoping that you will take advantage of Hopin's networking features to meet fellow visionaries like yourselves. We want this to be as interactive a session as possible. But first things first, I'd like to welcome and open the day with the sponsor of the Future Summit, the phenomenal Barry Siegel of the Siegel Family Foundation. Barry is a man who can't sit still, and we are incredibly grateful for that. Barry, never sit still. Keep doing all that you do. In business and philanthropy, he is obsessed over the challenge of solving big problems and getting things done more efficiently and more effectively. Barry is coming to us from his home in New Jersey. So Barry, welcome, and over to you.
Thanks so much for coming to the Future Summit. My name is Barry Siegel, and I am founder of the Siegel Family Foundation and Focus for Health. I was not always a philanthropist. I spent most of my adult life building a business, but now I'm committed to building up communities, especially with vulnerable children and populations that have been marginalized. From the early stage organizations we fund in Africa to the small nonprofits we fund in America, I believe these efforts are the key to change. Everyone deserves the right to be able to access good health, wealth, and opportunities. I also believe that when we get smart people in the same room, real or virtual, amazing things can happen. Let's use today to connect and collaborate. There's a lot of work to be done, but together the future is bright.
Thank you, Barry. You're right. Amazing things can happen when you get a lot of smart people in a room together, or a lot of smart people on a Zoom call together. And now it's our distinct privilege to hear from another incredibly smart person, a true visionary. I'm so honored to introduce our next speaker, Professor Mohammad Yunus. Not that he needs any introduction. Of course, he is the recipient of the 2006 Nobel Peace Prize. Professor Mohammad Yunus is an internationally recognized visionary and has done phenomenal work in the area of poverty alleviation and the empowerment of poor women. He successfully melded capitalism with social responsibility to create Grameen Bank, a microcredit institution committed to providing small amounts of working capital to the poor so that they can empower themselves and create businesses that truly change their communities. Grameen Bank started as an action research project in 1976. It has now grown on to provide collateral-free loans to over 7.5 million clients in more than 82,000 villages in Bangladesh. That's truly amazing. And even more amazing is that 97% of his clients are women. Professor Yunus, thank you so much for joining us. Over to you.
Thank you for inviting me for this occasion to say a few words about my feelings on Corona pandemic. I've been watching it like everybody else because there's no other option but to watch it. We are all pushed behind our doors, inside our homes. The whole world is empty on the street and businesses and so on. It's an amazing phenomenon that we have been observing. The whole world is conquered by corona virus within less than 100 days. Every country has been reached. The invasion was complete. People were pushed inside their homes. The outside world was made vacant. And it happened in a way that we felt helpless. All our knowledge, all our technology didn't come to help us, and particularly because we didn't use it. We didn't use it because we are so selfish. We wanted to protect our family, we wanted to protect our nation. We didn't want to go beyond our nation. We didn't want to see it as a kind of a common problem for the whole world. We worked together. All nations standing up, raising their voice, raising their word in a way that they can solve all the problems in a way which helps everybody, not just one nation or the other. There are saw tensions between nations. Some nations, powerful nations, buying up things from other countries where they needed it more, but they wanted to get it for themselves. And the same thing is we are seeing at the vaccine, the corona vaccine, which is the ultimate of protecting us from the COVID-19. And what we see, the rich country like USA, UK, Europe, they are buying up all the production. They are not worried about what happens to the rest of the world. They just gave lip service that yes, we'll keep some for you too, as a kind of assurance that something will happen. But you'll be waiting in line, behind the line, long line, after everything is taken care of in the rich countries. Knowing fully well that protecting the rich countries doesn't protect the people in the world. It's something, if you keep one person unprotected, nobody's protected. But knowing that, still we didn't do much about it. What we saw during pandemic, very sad things, because it revealed all the weaknesses in our economy and weaknesses in our thinking, weaknesses in our society, which we were hiding. We knew it, but we didn't focus it, we didn't pay attention to it. It's left alone. But the pandemic brought us all up. We saw the weaknesses in the large number of population of the world. These are the people who live on themselves, on their own efforts, with their own initiatives. Nobody helps them. Government don't help them. Economists just forget about them. They call them informal sector. You know, it's this amazing name, informal sector, as if this is something nothing to do with us. We deal with only the formal sector. You come to the formal sector when we'll talk to you. But the majority of the population are in that category. They cannot wait when you'll have time to talk to them. They are on their own, trying to protect themselves, hanging by their nails. The moment pandemic came, the moment the economy stopped, they fell from their nail and then fall flat on their back because they have no income, they have no savings, so they don't know where to go. And these are millions of people, even billions of people.
And then leave.
Yes, you can leave. So they are. In Bangladesh, it would be about.
Are you sure you want to leave?
So is in India.
You'll have to request again.
Yeah, that's fine, because they said that in the chat box they'll also ask you to do it again when you're going live.
And why they suffer?
So I must leave.
Because there is economy doesn't have to do anything for them. Economists made us believe that only thing you can do for them is to create jobs for them in the formal market. But the formal market doesn't open with jobs as many as 70% of the population overnight. It kind of trickles in few people inside, and that's it. And how do they survive? As I told you, that they on their own initiatives, on their own creative power, on their own imagination, they take care of them. I try to convince economists, try to argue with them that look, the name informal sector is a very dismissive name. You kind of want to forget about them. The proper name for them would be the micro-entrepreneur sector. That's what they are. They are micro-entrepreneurs. These are why you don't want to pay attention to their entrepreneurial ability. These are the excellent piece that human being can bring to the marketplace, entrepreneurial power of each individual. And these 70% of the population in the world, or near about 70% of the population of the world, belong to that category. We should celebrate that. We should tell them what a wonderful thing that people can take care of themselves, and then support them. Today there is no support system. You know, if you're an entrepreneur, you need some money to start the business, whatever little business. Somebody needs $100, somebody needs a couple of $100, $1,000 at the maximum. That's the kind of size of the business that they are in. We run a microcredit program in the USA called Grameen America. You know what is the initial money they need in Grameen America for each borrower? Less than $1,000. Some start at $600, some $700, and so on. In a country like United States, the richest country in the world, the size of the money they're looking for and struggling for is less than $1,000. Imagine Bangladesh, imagine India, imagine other countries in Africa, Latin America, and wherever other countries are, what the loan size. We started our Grameen Bank program with loans of the size of $5, $10 for many years. That's about the size people wanted. That's what they can handle. Now, of course, the money given is much more than that, several $100, $1,000, because they have been with the Grameen for over 42 years now, so have grown up quite a bit. But the point I'm making, they need money. Entrepreneurship is run by money. Otherwise, you cannot run. You just slave to other people's work. You offer your labor just to make yourself work for them. And that's the only option you have. You don't have the money. You have the money, you start your own business, a tiny business, selling stuff on the street side and so on. Being handicrafts, you have skill, you show it. The women have lots of skills. They can show that. So this is what they should be doing. And they depend, only way they can find the money is from the loan shark. Loan shark is a thriving business all over the world, whether rich country, poor country, doesn't matter. Because even the rich country have poor people, so they need the money and they go to the loan sharks. In some countries, they call themselves mafias. They give you a loan. If you don't pay back, they break your neck, they break your leg, and that's how they get their money. And they suffer through this, but nobody will pay attention to it. Banks are busy making money with the people who have lots of money, giving more money to them. They don't think about giving money to people who don't have money. So we have a strange world. We have more than 50%, I would say more than 70% of the people have no connection with the banking system. So if you call them as a micro-entrepreneur sector, then we see a completely different picture. We see they belong to the entrepreneurial class of the society. That's a fantastic thing to feel. And then they form the pyramid of entrepreneurial sector. A pyramid which goes all the way up. At the bottom, at the top, you have the multi-billion-dollar business entrepreneurs. They are at the top. In the middle, you have the multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs. At the bottom, you have the multi-hundred-dollar business. And that's the massive amount. That's the 70% of the population. So you reach out many more people if you can finance this, you can create this. That's why I'm saying it is a rethinking. It's a thinking process we need to change. That's what it's all about. It's not something about something wrong with the people, something wrong with something else. It's our thinking process, the way we created our institutions, our concepts, that's our at fault. So we have to go back and make it happen. And COVID-19 has shown us the weaknesses, and this is the worst part of our life that we have seen a crisis. But this is also the best part, because when you hit the darkest part, you come with the brightest idea. So this is the brightest idea part. Why don't we throw away all the old thinking and make those new thinking come in? We have to be outrageous and outrageously bold to throw away things and adopt things which were never adopted before. This looks so unusual, and that's the time that we have to do that. So we create this financial system for micro entrepreneurs. We create special banks, like Grameen Bank is a special bank, especially working with poor people, particularly poor women in the rural areas and so on. So it's very specialized. Why don't we create a specialized micro entrepreneur bank? Call them social business micro entrepreneur banks. Why do we have to call them social business micro entrepreneur bank? Because if you don't do that, some smart guy will make use of this micro entrepreneur banks to become loan sharks. Again, lending money to make money for themselves. So you cut it off in the legal system. Say that your license will be provided you want to create social business micro entrepreneur bank. And then sky's the limit. Let them grow bigger and bigger. You know what happened during the COVID-19 period? The millions of people working home, the migrant workers who have left their homes 100 miles away to make a survival livelihood because their homes don't give the survival livelihood. I said, what kind of economy have we built that our homes cannot provide around us, around our homes, to make a living for ourselves? So we have to go hundreds of miles to find just a survival livelihood. So that's again the shame of the wrong thinking. The wrong thinking because we focus on urban-centric economy. Our economy is not, urban center is the hub of all the economic activities. Everybody has to come to them. I said, that's a very wrong thinking. I think particularly it's wrong at this time and age when technology is available everywhere, electricity is available everywhere, it's information technology is available everywhere. You have telephones to every people. So you don't need to go to the city to do something. Why do you have to have a call center in a tall building, room after room, floor after floor, young people sitting there answering questions coming from USA or someplace else? Why can't we do it right in the village? So why you take these young people out of the village, live there, and suffer through all these problems, and make environment and the air quality of the city so miserable? Why don't we enjoy the fresh air of the villages and make those businesses happen? Every business can be done. You don't have to take the city, villages, people and their products to the city and process them and send them back to the village again. Why? Why can't we process them right in the village where we live? So this is the issue that we have to challenge. And then why business has to be profit maximizing business. This is what the whole crux of the problem is. We created business on the basis of our thought that all human beings are driven by self-interest, meaning that we are all selfish people. We are not. We are not all selfish people. Because we are human beings. Human beings are a mixture of everything. It's a selfishness, yes, part of it, but bulk of it is collective interest. Self-interest and collective interest. Collective interest is completely abandoned by the economists. So they have only one kind of business, self-interest driven business, selfish business. So their theme, their motto is to maximization of profit. The moment you enter, the moment you accept the collective interest as a driving force for human being, you and me, everybody else, we are not money-making robots. First of all, we have to wake up to the fact that we are not robots, just taking care of ourselves, making money, and soak ourselves into money. We are not money-centric people. We are people who want to share our life with everybody else, and that's inherent in us. So bring that up in the system, and social business is the way to create this business to solve those problems of the people and share life with the people. So social business is a business not for making money. One business is maximization of profit. Another business is no profit at all, no personal profit at all. Business makes profit, profits is plowed back into the business, but we have no interest in making money out of it because it's dedicated to solving people's problems. That's what it is. And that's what the social business is all about. That's why we're talking about the social business, micro-entrepreneurial banks. And social business could be anywhere to solve the problem of healthcare. You see, healthcare was another issue in the COVID-19 because we saw how people suffered. The whole public health system revealed itself as an empty box. There's nothing much inside of it. So we have to build a new healthcare system on the basis of social business so that you and I and everybody else can create those things. And then we create a world completely different. Now there's a tremendous interest in going back as soon as possible to the world that we were before the pandemic came over. We are in such a hurry to go back to that world. I said, why you want to go back to that world? That world was a terrible world. That world was a world we destroy ourselves. We don't want to go back to that world. That world was like we are riding a big train, rushing to our death. That's the kind of world that it was, because global warming was going to kill us very soon, very few years left, and everybody knew about it, everybody knows about it, but we don't do anything about it. We want to go back and ride the train again, take the train again to our ultimate destination of death. Why should we commit suicide going back to that destination? And then that world is the world of wealth concentration. All the wealth is concentrated in few hands, and it's getting worse and worse. Almost 1% of the whole population, 1% of the entire population of the world, own 99% of the wealth of the entire world. Can you believe what kind of world that is? This is our world, and it's getting worse. It's not getting better. So tomorrow you'll have less than 1% of people owning more than 99% of the wealth. That itself is a ticking time bomb. It will explode in anger, in dissatisfaction, and political upheavals and so on. So this is not a world that we want to go back to. We are thankful to COVID-19 that they stopped the machine, they stopped the train that is taking us to this ultimate death. Now we can get off the train and figure out which direction we should go. We definitely are not going back. No going back is our decision. We want to go back to a new world. We build a new road, we build a new train so that we can go to that world. This world was a global warming world. That's a wealth concentration world. That's a world of massive unemployment created by artificial intelligence, which will happen very soon. It's only a matter of few decades. and nobody will be at work anymore. So we don't want to go there. We want to create a world of 3 zeros. 0 net carbon emission. We don't want any global warming at all. We can do that. We know how to do that because we know who is creating all this problem. It's a very funny thing. We know, but we don't do anything. We want to stay in our comfort zone. It's like a kind of obese person. I get fatter and fatter, I get obese, but I don't want to give up my eating habit. I don't want to diet. I know how to reduce myself, but I don't want to do that. I'm very comfortable eating, and I don't want to exercise. I know exercise will help me to regain my health, but I don't want to do that. It's just exactly like that. Now we have to make up our mind, we want to do that. So if you make up our mind, we can create that world of 3 zeros. 0 net carbon emission, no global warming, and 0 wealth concentration. Wealth will be shared by everybody, and that's also possible because we know how wealth gets concentrated. The mechanism is already known. It's a kind of software building. We build a new software which will take us distribute the wealth for everybody else, and it's possible. It's very humane. It's very interesting, and it can be done as we go in our daily life. And third, we don't want to face that massive unemployment. We don't want anything to do with artificial intelligence taking away our jobs. Artificial intelligence can be good. It could be a great blessing when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to education and other, but not in the case of taking our jobs away. So we have world of 3 zeros. It's all question of making up our mind. We want our world of 3 zeros. 0 net carbon emission, 0 wealth concentration, 0 unemployment. That's what we should work for. And if you think that way, we'll make it that way. It's about thinking, imagining, and then everything will fall in place. This is the time to do that. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, Professor Yunus. Your impact means so much to all of us. Grameen's credit and savings model have been a fundamental basis for a myriad of microfinance institutions who've been able to study and critique your work and use it as the basis for what they do. So thank you so much for inspiring so many other entrepreneurs. It's now time for me to introduce our next speaker, the co-sponsor of this event, CEO of Robert Bosch Stiftung, Professor Joachim Rogau, coming to us from Germany. This is a truly international event. So over to you, Professor Rogau.
Hello and welcome on behalf of the Robert Bosch Foundation to the Future Summit 2020. The Robert Bosch Foundation and Siegel Family Foundation are collaborating in preparing and supporting the future African leaders, the rising stars of Africa. We are connecting our networks from our side, all the Bosch alumni in Africa, organized in the International Alumni Center. And my greetings go to all the Boschies in Africa, and thank you for supporting and collaborating Siegel Family Foundation in this event. I truly hope that next year we can meet again and meet without masks or even with masks, but in reality in Africa. For today, we have prepared a great program for you. Please have a great conference, take the best out of it, and be prepared for the big tasks that wait for us in the future. Thank you very much.